What's up, Foundation Nation? It's your big partner, man. I'm back again with part two. Back with part two, man. I hope y'all enjoyed part one. I hope it grabbed you. If it didn't, part two sure will grab you. I'm gonna get right into it. Okay. Um, we gonna get to the part where, yeah, me and her, we writing back and forth, we talking back and forth, and everything's getting good, everything's getting better. You know what I'm saying? Everything getting strong. Um, Me and Jamal, we get real close. You know what I'm saying? He became a little partner. Now, people are very, very observant in prison. They watch, they see everything. Prison's like a giant fishbowl. Um, Anything that's different or abnormal from the norm, people go keying on it and notice it. Now, of course, you had some people wondering, why Toon and Jamal so cool? You know what I'm saying? We kick it together, we talk, we kick it, we just, you know what I'm saying? We just cool together now, all the time. And they starting to wonder, like, hold up. He a Crip, he a disciple. He from Birmingham, he from LA. What's the connection? You know what I'm saying? What's the connection? You know what I'm saying? Once or twice, I call myself intervening on certain verbal confrontation that the homie was having with people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this throwing signs up to other people like, man, what's the connection with those two? People a lot of time be wondering, but they won't say nothing. They'll sit back and watch. But anyway, as time went on, um, we got to the point to where we want to see each other on the visiting yard. But we couldn't because she was on his visiting list. And so, with her being on his list, she couldn't jump on my list unless we were related, which we weren't. So I really, we couldn't do nothing about it at that time. And so I figured, I'd bide my time. I was really kind of in awe of the change that was coming over me. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you I was down in the dumps. I didn't give a dang if I woke up the next day no more. You feel me? She stepped right in during this period of my life. But now, my wife that I had prior to her had died like about 5 or 6 years earlier. And I hadn't had no pen pals, no woman or nothing in my life, period, for the past 6 years. And with my wife before her died, it kind of messed me up. So anyway, now here it is. Remember I told you, I told and prayed God. I said, hey man, I need some help. You know what I'm saying? And you never know in what direction or what fashion God gonna help you, but He gonna hear you. He gonna answer that call. He gonna help you. And what He did, He set her into my life at that time. And as time went on, I realized that's what the situation was because I started walking different, talking different. I started thinking different, acting different. I started becoming a different type person. Because, yeah, I was on some ruthless caveman type stuff. I was on some, I don't care if somebody hurt me. I don't care if I don't wake up tomorrow type get down. That's just how I was feeling, y'all, like I told y'all. But anyway, this woman that came into my life and started changing that. It was like a ray of sunshine being shined down into a black hole. So anyway, time going on. You could, talk so much on the phone. You could write so much letters. Eventually, you gonna want to see each other. But we couldn't. And so I went to Jamal and I told him, I say, hey, homie, look, let me talk to you. I say, listen, man, me and Mom's trying to get on the visiting yard and we trying to, be able to talk to each other face to face. So he was like, well, how y'all gonna do that? She on my visiting list. I'm like, I'm hip, I know. I say, what I'm coming to you for is see if you wouldn't mind, what I'm saying, letting her up off of there for a hot second. He was like, what? A negative. He was a mama's boy through and through. Through and through now. Negative was not gonna happen. So, okay. She started asking him. He checked her, no, mama, no, So now it's like to the point to where he trying to figure out, did he mess himself up by even hooking her up with me? So I ease back up off the gas on that one. I got something to think with. And I told her, I eased back up off the gas. I say, look, he ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, He a mama's boy, just whatever, whatever. But now the whole time I'm knowing if I just keep on staying the course, the stronger her feelings and emotions got, the more it was gonna get to the point to where she was like, "Hey, look, I gotta see him. That's it," because she was right at that point. So I'm knowing, and she knew that if she just call up and take herself off his visiting list, she was open and free to put whoever else, or I mean, to get on whoever else visiting list. I wasn't gonna be the one to say it to her or mention it, so she could be able to throw it in my face later on in case it happened that way. Or I wasn't gonna be the one to go and take it to Jamal and say, "Well, look, she finna get off your list," and have my little partner mad at me. I played my cards right and just waited it on out. I was gonna wait it on out until she got to the point to where she couldn't take it no more and just told him, "Hey, look, I'm getting off your list. I'm going over there with him." Because I was dropping little jewels in her ear about the situation all the time. But anyway, fate stepped in. Fate stepped in the order and the way of, okay, at this time, if you got caught with a cell phone, they would charge you $25 and they would take your visits for 6 months. He ended up getting popped with a phone. I hated that he lost his little phone, but I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't overjoyed about being able to get her on my visiting list now. So anyway, he lost his visits. She got on the visiting list with me. So time going on. I'm waiting for her to get approved. I'm waiting for this first visit. Now, at this time, she knew about how I was feeling in that prison, a lot of the stuff I was going through, and it just, how my mind was working, how down I was at the time. And she would talk about, what I'm saying? She would talk about God a lot. She would uplift me. She would just try to change things. Tell me, look, let that go. You are opening the door for certain spirits to get in on you. Stop thinking and talking and acting this type way. I need for you to think, talk, act this type way. So, and it was sinking in. It was sinking in. Okay, here it is. Time come. I got the visits now. She been approved. And I signed up. We waiting. I never forget the first day, the first visit. They called me for a visit. Woo, 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 woo. Visit. I'm like, all right. So, at the time in Alabama prison, they wore all white. Man, I got my pressed whites on, creased down to the T. I'm bonna rip, yo. I'm talking about I'm bonna rip. Man, I'm ready to go. Boy, look here. You couldn't wear hair on your face in Alabama prison back then. You had to be clean shaven. You know what I'm saying? Hair cut low. You couldn't grow your hair. None of that. So, I'm going out there looking like a freakazoid, you know what I'm saying, with no hair on my face. But now, we was used to it. How, people in the free world, that came to visit, they was used to it. They know we couldn't have hair. But anyway, I go in the yard for that first visit. So I'm out there first. I'm sitting down, and I'm waiting for her to come in. I'm waiting. So when the door popped, they let about six visitors in. Boom. She was one of them. Boy, I looked. I couldn't do nothing but shake my head, y'all. I couldn't do nothing but shake my head. I was, because like I say, I don't cuss. But the only thing that was in my mind was, God. Now, at the time, she was in her 40s. Shutting the whole visiting yard down. Down. Young women, older women, nothing was faded. Nothing. A head turner. The police was, the gay women was, and they was hating on her so bad, man. They would make her change her pants, do all type of stuff. But she got so tired. At one time she had to call the ward because they was tripping on her about her pants. But she had to tell them, look, I cannot help how I'm built. I can't help how I'm built. I'm wearing the same pants as everybody else wearing. It's not my fault. I'm not shaped like them. But eventually they raised up off of them. But anyway, When that first visit hit, man, she came in, she bought me something to eat. We sat down, you know what I'm saying? You got the first hug, the first kiss, sat down and we talking. And I'm telling her how beautiful she was and how she looked. And she returned the compliment. And it was lovely, man. It was cool. It was good. It was good. It was good. So anyway, not a lot, not a lot about the visit. So anyway, when the visit ended, she left. So when I get back to the block, who's the first person I see? Jamal. He want to talk. He followed me to the cell. Man, cuz, I mean, he didn't say cuz. He said, man, Big Tune. Man, what happened? Was it cool, man? How'd you like the visit, man? Boo, boo, boo. So I'm explaining to him. I was like, man, the visit was cool, homie. I like this. I like that. It was jumping. It was all right. It was cool, you know? So he was like, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. He said, Mom's like, he was like, yeah. By this time, he knew that, we both really, 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 really liked each other. We both really liked each other. Now, remember what I told you. Ain't no secrets in prison. What's done in the dark gonna come to the light. So now here it is. I done went on a visiting yard with this boy mama. Everybody that was out there who seen me and her, who knew that that was his mama, police and all, was like, what? They weren't used to seeing me on no visiting yard, period, because I hadn't been in over 6 years. They weren't used to seeing me with the creased up Bonnarip, you know what I'm saying, prison whites on, creased up like that. Now here it is. I hit the yard. I'm one of the biggest F-ups in the prison system at this time. You know what I'm saying? They had me classified as a real live down and out, down to rights animal. You know? Feed him raw meat type person. Now here it is. They look up. I'm on the visitor yard with the baddest thing on 2 feet that's coming up in there. So now that left a whole lot of people in shock. Like, what? What the heck she doing out here with Cartoon? Then the way we were interacting on the visitor yard, they knew this was this I'm her man, she my woman type get down. The tongues went to wagging. Oh my goodness, y'all. The tongues went to wagging. Man, dudes, look, all in the block. Man, you go with Junior, cause we call Jamal Junior. Man, you go with Junior Mama. Man, you with Junior Mama. I'm gonna talk about from the police, the inmates, all the whole hookup. Man, you go with Junior Mama. Man, you was out there with Junior Mama. I'm like, yeah, homie, I was out there. I'm out there. So now I had explained to Junior. I said this was gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. So be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Get you some thick skin, cause dude's gonna be like, dang man, how Toon get with your mama, or you let Toon get with your mama, man, and woo woo woo, and that's how it came. It was coming like that. But I had schooled him and prepared him for it so long. By the time it did start talking and coming, he was ready for it. I had the police come to my cell and like, man, look, how you do it, man? How did you do it? How I do what? Man, how you knock Jamal mama, man? I'm like, hey man, if it's meant, it's meant, It's meant, it's meant. So man, the police clown, they like, oh boy, you a bad man, Toon. Boy, that was that California love, man. That was that woo woo. I'm like, yeah, all right. So, on the phone, I started telling her about all the shenanigans and all the talk. And she was like, man, I don't care nothing about all that talk. They can talk all they want to talk. So time going on. I did kind of peep and see that, Junior Jamal, he had a little jealousy in him. You know what I'm saying? He weeks going by and I'm getting these visits. He wasn't getting no visits. And, he got a little jealous. He was still a young kid. You know what I'm saying? A little young kid in the head, in the mind, in the heart, in the body, in the frame, and in the soul. So, he get a little jealous. But he would try to hide it from me. But I'm an old coon. I see it. So time going on, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like the 6 months was flying by fast, and I'm already knowing when the 6 months was up, it was a wrap for him. She wasn't going back on his visit list. And I got to the point where I tried to explain that to him. And so, he got to the point where he started whining about certain stuff, and, you know, man, that's my mama, man, and whoop this and that, da 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 da. And I would listen to it, and I wouldn't get into it with him about it because he didn't understand, and I did understand that, homie, I don't care nothing about this being your mama. A mother and son's relationship can only go so far. And it cannot go the distance of a woman and her man's relationship. Okay, you will always be her son. You'll always be her son. But she needs a man. She's not complete. A woman without a man is not complete. Yeah, you got a lot of women running around with this independent mess and this and that with they messed up head self. This 2000 and this is this and this and that. Don't need no man. I'm independent. INDEPE. Yeah, okay, all that's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, a woman is not complete if she don't have her king in her life. And so now here it is. She done got a king in her life. She cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying? And it was a many times I wanted to tell him, hey, homie, we cool, but it's over with. That's me. Point seen, money gone. I wasn't going to give it to him hard like that. So anyway, time going on. I done did a whole 180. The mentality I was in at the time is over. I ain't thinking that way. I ain't acting that way. I'm straightening up, man. I done got that spark back in my life. You know what I'm saying? I even had to turn around and call moms and let her know, hey, look, mama, you remember that crazy stuff I said to you a few months back? I said, don't pay no attention to that. That ain't me. Mom's on the phone. She crying. She happy. She like, baby, I've been so worried about you. I've been so scared. I've been so sad. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know on what day they was going to call me and say something had happened to you or you done hurt somebody or somebody done hurt you. And because I know your mind wasn't working right. I'm like, yeah, it wasn't, mama. I say, but it's working right now. I'm back. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go as far as to explain to her the reason what I came back. But now, I let her know, hey, I'm back. Okay. So now I'm living in the blocks and I'm what's known as a blockhead. And a blockhead is a dude that lives in the block and he don't want to go out to what they call the south side of the prison, where they got the dorm living, the drug dorm, the anger management, SAP programs, the old folks dorm, and all 2, 3 other, like 4 different type dorms you can live in. They got one general population dorm and all that. But it's cool. It's laid back. You can come outside at nighttime. You got free access to the big, huge yard all day, every day. Dip, pull-up bar, big outside basketball court with the cement. The basketball court's up in the block. You playing on the dirt, in the grass, and you playing ghetto ball. That ghetto ball up there. Anybody don't know what ghetto ball is, you gonna get hurt. Get on the court if you want to. You getting hurt up there. That's just how they played. But now they civilized on the south side, They got more privileges than other people. But now I don't care. I wasn't with it. I wasn't with it, I was not with it. I had I had a lot of homies from Cali that was out there on the south side. They were like, man, Big Tune, man, come on out here with us. Come on out. I'm like, no, homie, I'm a blockhead. I'm living up here in the blocks. I don't want to leave, so I would never leave. So anyway, she started talking to me about getting in this drug dorm. Because if you get in this drug dorm and you graduate this program, you could get a parole cut. You know what I'm saying? So time went on. She stayed on me about it. She was like, look, you got to do something different. You got to change. You got to change your playmates. You got to change your environment. What she say? She would always say, you got to change your playmates and you got to change your playground. saying that you got to start doing, rubbing elbows with different type people in a different type area. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay positive. So she got me to the point where, I started going to church, and she stayed on me so hard till I finally went on and moved. I did it. I couldn't believe it, man. This right here was a milestone. I had a bunch of people looking at me like, dang, Toon moved to the South Side? But I did it. I signed up and went to the drug dorm, graduate the program. Now, I'm my hopes up of trying to get out of prison again. So I went on out there. I went to the drug program. I want to graduate it so that I can go ahead and try to get a parole cut and get on up out these white folks' prison. So she was talking to me. We would talk all the time out there, all the time out there. You know what I'm saying? Then we going on the visiting yard, and like a lot of time during football season, she's an Auburn fan, just like me. And so on Saturdays during game day, I had a phone in my pocket with the earpiece on, and they got the game on they got one TV on the Alabama game, they got another TV on the Auburn game, and we would sit up there and we watch the Auburn football game together. You know what I'm saying? Going, talking about different plays and different this and different that, and really just kicking it and vibing, getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So now it got to the point to where we start talking about this marriage. You know what I'm saying? Get married. She asked me. And she just happened to beat me to the punch because I was gonna ask her. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with it. I'm like, yeah, it's time. So she like, well, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. She like, I love you. I'm ready. I'm ready. She said, I've been wanting to do it. I'm like, okay, me too. So I remember when I first told her son, I was like, hey man, I told Junior, I say, listen man, me and your mama finna get married. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, me and your mama finna get married. I don't know. He was cool with it. Yeah, I can say he was cool with it. Because by this time, he had went on and accepted the fact that we was in there like swimwear. So he was like, what's up? He was like, okay, can I come? I'm like, I don't know how that works. I said, but if you can, you can. You know what I'm saying? I said, if you can, you will. So you got to go through the process of getting the paperwork done. We went and got the paperwork done. We went and got it set up. You have to do a sit-down council meeting with the prison preacher. Me and her. So we sat down. We went through all that. We did all the stuff we were supposed to do, and we finally got a date. Okay, the date that we have was about a month off, about a month and a half off. But anyway, listen, that's the end of part 2. Y'all stay tuned for part 3. Hey, gang, and don't bang, homie. This Avalon. Gangsters.